Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and in the world of culture. I'm Hannah Spikes. Personal wardrobe stylist Jenilee Samuel has worked in fashion for 7 years. She uses these years of expertise to help young women and aspiring professionals gain confidence by teaching them how to dress to capture their unique style. In the past, she has stopped by the LUTV News studio to give students the details needed to dress for broadcast news. LUTV News is very excited to welcome her back as she teaches this semester's students the ins and outs of dressing for TV. Thank you so much for coming back to LUTV News. We're really excited that you came back to us. So kind of to start out with, tell us what you were doing here today. Like, what is so important to teach students about dressing professional?
Oh, of course. While professionalism impacts every aspect of how we move into our careers, and since they're in training, it's an important foundation to lay for them to understand how dress and grooming and all of that can affect their careers.
Yeah, so as far as dressing professional goes, what makes dressing for broadcast different than just dressing for everyday workwear?
Sure. Well, dressing for broadcast is different in that the camera will pick up different things from colors to textures and prints differently. The camera adds 10 pounds, right? And so just being aware of those things, and of course the nature of their job is they have a relationship with the viewers, and so the ways that they dress and groom nurtures that relationship with the viewers as well.
Yeah, so kind of going onto color theory, what would you say are good colors for different skin tones to kind of help further that, like the colors in the broadcast even further?
Of course. Well, every skin tone is going to look better or worse in different palettes. So there's warm colors, there's cool colors. And so people with certain yellowy undertones are going to need to favor colors that are warmer, like yellows and browns and golds. And then people with a cooler undertone are going to want to favor blues and purples and soft reds. And what that does is it just flatters how they naturally look, and it's just going to make them come across better on camera.
Yeah, so how would you kind of take that color theory and then kind of keep your personal style but still be professional?
I mean, people are good. There's different palettes in color, and so whether it's a soft muted color, which is a little less intense, or a vibrant color, they play to maybe what your personality is. And so people can kind of pick the colors that they resonate with their personality and the way they carry themselves to kind of become part of their personal uniform or their personal branding and how they present themselves.
Yeah, so how do you balance your style, like with how you dress kind of casually, professionally? Like where do you say you fall?
I think I tend to the side of overdressing just a little bit, but I love jeans and a t-shirt. So I'm kind of the master of dressing up jeans and a t-shirt. Throw on heels, throw on some lipstick, you're good.
How do you feel clothes impact a first impression?
Oh my goodness. Your clothing is kind of like the billboard of who you are. Whether we like it or not, whether we think it's ideal or not, it's just how the human brain works. And so people draw that information about what they see about you. And so if you're constantly in dark colors, they may think that you're more of a moody, intense personality. If you're always wearing rainbow colors, they're going to think you're fun and playful. And so the way that you dress communicates without you ever opening your mouth. And so it's just helpful to be aware so that which most people are aware, and that they dress for how they feel. And that's kind of how we intuitively follow our own rules.
Yeah, so how do you keep up with the trends? Like, I feel like they change every day.
Yes.
How do you incorporate the trends into, or do you incorporate the trends into professional style and every day or things like that?
Yes, absolutely. Like, for example, what I wore today, I have wide leg pants on, nobody can see, but that's not my personal preference, but it is the trend, and so I'm trying to be trend relevant. And so what I do is I do a lot of research. In any industry, you've got to do research and stay on top of things. Things change in every industry, and with fashion, they just change very quickly. And so I follow bloggers, I'm on Pinterest, I'm always doing research, but I also try to always infuse what's unique to my style. I love leather, I love kind of edgy styles, and so no matter what time of year it is, you're going to find me with some edgy tones to what I wear, just because that's my personality.
Yeah.
So.
So with accessories, how do you best accessorize for professionalism?
Okay, so accessorizing is like the icing on the cake. It's like the makeup on the girl. It it can really create the tone. And so if I'm going for something really classy, then I'll keep my jewelry a little more understated. But if I want to draw eyes to my face, like something like this, I'll wear bigger earrings like I'm doing today. And so even lipstick, I consider an accessory because it can change the tone of how you look and the way you come across and where you're drawing eyes to. But accessorizing definitely creates that polished, finished look that, I don't know, kind of sets things apart.
Yeah, so what would you say are your top kind of fashion hacks that you use maybe on a daily basis, or?
I just feel like, okay, one fashion hack, if you're short on time and you don't have time to do your hair totally, throw on a hat. A hat does wonders for, not a baseball cap, like a nice hat, you know. If you need to, nails, throw on press-on nails. Used to have a bad reputation, but it is all the rage right now, and super great shortcut. Otherwise, if you don't have time for lots of makeup, lipstick and mascara does wonders.
All right, and so how would you say for kind of men compared to women that dressing professional do you think that for both men and women dressing professional, it kind of makes them equal, or would you say like women need to dress more professional to kind of be at that equal with how men are seen
in the workplace? Women can have more fun with their clothes for sure, and so that's kind of the upside. I feel like both genders really need to dress professionally. In some industries, women need to make sure they're dressing professionally to kind of have that extra step ahead in if it's a male-dominated industry. Wearing makeup and not going crazy, but just looking polished goes a long way to convey your capability in a job anywhere. But it really is, it's important for both genders.
All right, and then just to kind of tell us a little bit more about yourself, how has your career in fashion, how have you seen everything evolve, and then how has that led you to like the podcast that we know you have, how's your kind of fashion and journey just kind of summarized been?
Oh man, I worked for Stitch Fix as a stylist. I wanted a more personal interaction with my clients, and so I created my business that I do locally, work in women's closets, help them create outfits with what they have, and then opportunities like this to train the news anchors. I'll be hosting a runway show for Spindletop Museum's fundraiser this April. I'm very excited about that. My podcast is not related to fashion, but fashion definitely creeps in, and so yeah, it's just kind of, it shows up in every corner of my life.
If you want to follow Jenilee on any of her social medias, keep up with her website, you can do so on Instagram at jsamuelstyling, or do visit her website at jsamuelstyling.com. Thank you for joining us, Jenilee. It has been a really great time. And thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.